What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Peter Parkour.
And I'm the real Jussy, and we are the Distorted Theorists.
So, before we get into it, obviously, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Merry, Happy New Year to anyone. I'm trying not to offend anyone. I'm trying to include everyone I can. Happy Festivus to everyone that's
social
out there.
media.
It's
been a year.
Since our last video.
No.
It's been a year since our last video of this one. We've done a full year of watching movies, drinking in content, playing games.
It's just been such a great year.
It's been good. It's been a bad year for some too.
But it actually has been such a great year that we decided to change up our structure a little bit from our last year in review.
Yeah, because I kind of screwed you up.
Yeah, you swerved me. So anyway, tell everybody what we're doing this year.
So we're doing the 5 best forms of media.
There you go.
TV, movies, and video games.
Yep.
And the worst 3 types of media, which are the same.
TV, games, and shows, whatever. It could be across Netflix, Paramount Plus, I already said Netflix, Amazon.
Paramount Plus, does anyone watch anything on Paramount Plus?
HBO Max, I don't know. Basically, any form of media that you can soak in and enjoy that's in any form of realm, which you just learned off camera. We're here to talk about it, and maybe it'll inspire you guys to go see said movie, play said game, or turn on that show. But before we get into that, guys, as always, if you want to support the channel, and we do appreciate it, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and in this case, you're definitely going to want to let us know down in the comments if you think we're crazy for liking these movies. Did we get our list completely wrong? It's all personal preference, of course.
Did we get the names wrong? Did we get our characters?
Yeah, I don't even care. You let us know in the comments. But we also have a special treat, so stick around. After we do our 5 worst and our 5 best, we're actually going to take a look ahead into 2023, and we're going to actually, we both got lists. We don't know what each other has, by the way. We're going to tell each other our most, anticipated game, movie, and TV show. So I kind of want you to take it away here.
We're going to start off with the bad.
I got a secret list here.
I got my secret list here, which is right there.
If you watched last year's video, we are wearing our mics.
Oh, did we forget?
Yeah, we did, and we remember that was weird. Anyway. Atlanta Falcons.
Mr. Blank.
Okay, Peter. I'm going to turn this way so we don't want no spoilers. What is your number 5 worst movie, film,
and again,
game,
and
show?
We're saying this is the number 5 worst, as in this is the best of the worst.
Best of the
number
worst.
1 worst is the worst of the worst. Just so we're staying on the same page.
For the worst, it's de-escalating. For the best, it's escalating down.
You're hurting your brain here.
You go ahead. So let me have it.
My 5th worst thing, and I honestly hated putting in it, but I think it was just from the way it made me feel.
Perfect. Let me know your reasonings.
The Book of Boba Fett.
Whoa.
Now.
Okay, before you even go in, I got to tell the viewers. This man here is Star Wars in the blood, ladies and gentlemen.
Now,
that's all I want to say.
Was it a bad show? No, but it was marketed from the very beginning, and this Disney, we gotta have a talk about this marketing. It was being marketed. Well, first of all, okay, Boba Fett made his return. Spoiler in season 2 of The Mandalorian, and he came back as a badass. Robert Rodriguez directed that episode, and he was a bona fide. He was a Terminator.
Yeah, because you were saying good things about it.
He just rocketed people. He beat the crap out of them. He had his whatever the stick. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he was just wrecking stormtroopers. Like, we're gonna make a Boba Fett show. He's gonna become the crime lord take over from Jabba. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be huge. And he came back and he was like, yeah, this is not really for me. I wanna be a good crime lord.
So they nerfed him?
Well, it's not that they nerfed him. Well, they kind of did.
And for the record, Pete knows this. I didn't watch Boba Fett. I love Star Wars movies. Like, I can take them for movie value. But when it comes to the lore and all that, I mean, I don't track it like you, so I didn't get into Boba Fett. But I can't believe
there was a whole sequence.
The audacity of it.
I know. The sequence where he's with Tusken Raiders and showing how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, that was great.
Okay.
Then him being the crime lord and trying to get out of the bed. And then there was these like weird little Vespa scooters that everyone, they were supposed to be badass and they just looked dumb. And then
they had to go.
Not that I had a problem with this because it was great. We had Grogu, we had Ahsoka, we had Luke.
Oh, they were all in that show?
Oh, and they had the Mandalorian.
Whoa.
And it was good, but then it just kind of felt like this isn't the Book of Boba Fett, this is the Mandalorian season 2.5. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It was still very much enjoyable from that point. So this is a bit of a cop-out for me.
I can feel the fumes coming out of them here.
it wasn't a necessarily bad or awful show. It was just marketed very differently. It was swerved.
Yeah.
And when it says Book of Boba Fett, and we were shown what Boba Fett was, and we've been led to believe who Boba Fett was for years and years and years, and then he was just like, nah, it's cute. You just guys shouldn't be doing it anymore.
You know what? It's almost like they should make it illegal for trailers to show stuff that are not in the movie. I got ya.
No, because everything that they showed in it was in the show. It was just being portrayed in a different way. You want me to go up and try and sue Disney? Good luck. I'm going to be in the bottom of a lake somewhere.
Well, if I may, and this is not even so much talking about trailers, but talking about stuff that gets you hyped and then leaves you feeling flat.
You got one too?
Can I give you my number 5?
Absolutely.
Best of the worst. You're probably going to be surprised at this one. Maybe you won't be. I got to say it. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
See, I was thinking about putting that on my list, but I still enjoyed it because you know what? You are the hype man.
I know, but listen, this is the whole problem. Okay,
I warned you.
Anybody who watches this channel, and you especially, because you sit next to me, knows that I had my expectation. I'll put it at a camera. I was up here. The trailers were banging. We had one of our most successful trailer reactions out of that trailers, and I was just like, I felt like that was just putting us on, me at least, on cloud 9 for this movie. I was like, Patrick Stewart. Now, did I expect X-Men in it? No, I don't think I expected that. There was rumors swirling from you as well. You were thinking about Fantastic Four might have showed up and all that jazz. Obviously, spoilers are off the table. We did get Mr. Reed, which Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, sorry, and that was dope because I didn't see that coming, right?
Master Reed.
Mr. Reed, but I didn't see that coming. But then, and I mean, it had cool moments. Don't get me wrong. When Scarlet Witch wrecked everybody, I was like, oh shit. But then, it was a fizzle,
and then it just kind of.
They had so much opportunity to be going through different multiverses to give us little glimpses of shit that we didn't even need to see, but we would have freaked out, like a Ben Affleck Daredevil, what's her name, Elektra. Like, you could have put anybody, could have been somebody from the Netflix series, like Luke Cage, or I don't know, man.
In the words of the real Jussy, the tagline for Phase 4 of the multiverse saga.
Yep.
This is a turning point for the Marvel
for the
MCU.
It was a turning point. It was a turning point. That's all right. But, and all due respect to the movie, I mean, Dave talked about now that Phase 4 has gotten some flack from the fan base, such as myself. But apparently it's all going to be revealed as the groundwork that we needed to see. So, I don't know. But, I mean, that's my... I was upset. I was visibly upset and disappointed. There's one time in my life I was disappointed in a Marvel movie was when I came out of that. I was like,
oh, you loved The Dark World, did you?
Well, see, I never seen that in theater. I watched that after, and I can watch it. So, but I don't know. The hype was there.
All right.
So, carry on. Carry us on, my wayward son.
My
for
number 4 worst movie of the year. And now we are getting into the realm of like, I was disappointed about it.
Okay.
Now, this was a genuinely... not great movie.
It was a hot poo.
It was, but see, here the thing is, of all the movies that I've seen, that this is probably the one that was the worst that I actually did enjoy.
Okay, let me have it.
We ain't gonna be seeing him anymore. Ooh. Black Adam.
Ooh.
Dunzo. Black Adam, the DCU, the DCEU, and possibly the DCU has dumped the Black Adam franchise. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is gone. Now, James Gunn hasn't said that he's actually going to get rid of Black Adam. He might come in a cameo perspective, but I don't know. There's rumors that the old DJ might be talking to Kevin there now. But listen, it was a fun movie. Yeah. If you've watched it was like, that was a good movie, because you actually had to go and turn your brain off and be like, I'm not a movie reviewer right now. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm a movie reviewer, but this is what we're doing on the channel. Yeah. But my God, the lines that some characters were delivering, some of the plot points, some of the action, some the CGI in certain parts, and I'm sorry, I'm saying it now because the movie's out. That kid.
The skateboard kid.
Oh, he just needed something to fall on him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the movie was fine. One of the things that just took me out of it, and I know this is going to be so nitpicky, but I got to say it, is just there was like no color tone to that whole movie, and
everything was sepia.
It was exactly, and I was
brown.
like, and after seeing Justice League and everything, I'm kind of over that. I want to see some vibrancy. I want to see some cool effects,
some fun.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Dwayne, you Jack, bro.
You were
Jack, but
you're not.
Yeah, I know.
You were built to play a superhero, and you know what? You did Black Adam well.
Yeah, you did.
I just
You did.
wish that there could have been more time spent in the editing room. I'm not saying I could do a better job, but there were certain ways that scenes were being done. I'm like, this could have been just done a little bit better. And I understand that you had to fight to get this movie made. There was a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff, and it was. Like, I can appreciate it for what it was, okay? Really,
the effort
truly.
was there,
Yes.
I feel, and the marketing was there. And I mean, people did go out to see it, but at the end of the day, did we care? Did we care when the DCU got reset a month ago?
I cared about one person.
You cared about Henry?
Yes.
Really?
He was a great
I like
Superman.
Ezra as Flash. I did enjoy it. Well, actually, let me rephrase. It's not even Ezra. I just enjoyed the Flash as a character. So knowing his movie was on the horizon, I guess still is. I'm excited to see that. But I'm hoping. I said in a comment somewhere along the line on Cinema Blend or something. I just made a little comment because someone was questioning where do we see the DC going from here, and I was like, you know what? I wonder if Flash could be their Iron Man to the series.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I think he could.
I think they're done with the Flash. After Flashpoint comes out, I think it's just going to be like, oh, this is how we turn it into the... it was all a dream. And that's just how they reset everything.
Okay, having said that, if I may, I want to talk about my number 4,
Yes.
that, in my opinion, of someone who unfortunately could not carry a series, in my opinion.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this one.
My number 4 is... I'll let you say it. I'll take a guess.
Did it have something to go with?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, what's
She-Hulk. I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Oh, you bastard.
Listen. It's another one of those things that, and to be fair, I'm going to be right to the point. I think the ending is just what didn't do it for me.
The ending was amazing.
I don't know. I was so amped up, and then Hulk came back. I was actually vibing with that.
Oh, yeah, okay. The very ending of that
but
was
then,
just like...
Yeah, but then like they shoehorned in the Hulk. So, like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just the comedy
yeah.
just went... I was like vibing with some of the season. Don't get me wrong. You watch my reactions. Some of this, it was good at times, but after on the whole is what I'm now talking about. And you get time to reflect on what you just watched, the whole 9 episodes or whatever it was. She didn't do anything for me. And I was kind of pumped because you kind of had me pumped, in all due respect, because you watched the comics or read the comics and all this stuff. But I mean, I know you can change, like, you give me your opinion, but...
I loved it because it was what the comics were. The comics were never serious. They might have the odd arc about, I'm not going to get into anything specific, but there were a couple of emotional arcs that were in She-Hulk dealing with certain things with family and whatnot. But she was the one that was breaking the fourth wall before Deadpool did it, and that's what she did and it was probably the closest thing that any show has been to actual comic book reality.
So what issue of her comic was it where Megan Thee Stallion and her twerked? I was just wondering what issue was that.
Pop culture.
Pop nothing, because it should never have
Okay, you want to get something in?
Well, go ahead.
Okay, fine. So in the actual comics, when she starts to have sex, she can't. When she has sex in the comics, her boyfriend is really super upset when she's not the She-Hulk.
Like a fetish?
Yes.
See, I would have rather that. Actually, that kind of happened in the show.
That was in the thing, but that's part of it, and then it becomes a whole part of like, wait, who are you? Like, oh, I'm Hulk. This is me and my person. Like, Hulk, and it becomes a whole thing. And she's, my life's over. Stinky.
Listen, whatever does your rocks, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean?
I don't know what turn of phrase.
I honestly, I don't even need to go any further. I think my comments have already spoken for themselves. It just, on the whole, looking back, I just don't think that, like, I'll even say it didn't hit as hard as, for me, Miss Marvel. It didn't hit as hard as Moon Knight. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if Hawkeye trailed into this year. I can't remember now. But it just didn't hit the same as previous Marvel shows, I guess. So it kind of let me down a little bit.
I respect your opinion.
Yep.
Even though it's wrong. Anyways.
All right, go ahead with your number 3. Let's see what I can prove you.
Number 3.
Let me have it.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Man, he's... Okay, I gotta say it again before you can get in there. He's deep cutting himself, ladies and gentlemen, because this man is a bona fide dinosaur lover through and through. Loves Jurassic Park, loves dinosaurs. I'm still pretty sure he plays with dinosaurs in the tub.
The action was there. The dinosaurs were cool. I enjoyed the movie because I came out giggling because we were in D-Box. I was in a 2.5 hour Universal theme park ride.
You were.
The story, that was.
You know what this is?
It's
a shoehorn.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like there's these dinosaurs and they're like living among us. Is that the problem? No, it's grasshoppers.
What?
But also,
yeah, like we've got these genetically engineered locusts.
We had Edward's dinosaurus hands.
That was probably the best part of the movie with that whole deer.
It was like this, but it was just like
when it just would have batted that deer out of the screen. But and then once again we've got Sam Neill, we've got Jeff Goldblum, we've got
which gets people like us excited.
And then they were like, yeah.
There was no I almost thought that those characters would be pivotal to making whatever happen, but in the end, I guess the whole premise of Jurassic Park is dinosaurs will always reign supreme. In the end, I guess the circle of life, whatever,
Jeff
evolution,
Goldblum,
whatever.
That's it. It's Jeff Goldblum. We're like,
Jeff Goldblum. But I mean, listen, and I even died for the can of shaving cream callback. I mean, for Wayne Knight, I love that. I did enjoy. You know what? I think if we weren't in D-Box, I do believe the movie would have came off a lot different. But we gotta admit, it was probably one of the most funnest movies we went to because that scene where they're chasing me and you were like in the knots laughing. And Buddy, I think, ahead of us sneezed and like hit like 8 people ahead of us or something, and we were just in knots laughing. Remember?
I was like, I was like, oh my god!
But you know what? Can I take a deep cut on myself for my number 3?
Okay.
Anyone who knows me, and this is in the first ever video game in the world. I think you might know where it's going because you just literally returned it after not even playing.
Oh yeah.
My number 3 worst disappointment. Pokemon Arceus.
I didn't even include it on my list because I just didn't care about
it. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need to play it. Okay, this is number 3. This is sitting at the middle of the worst of the worst. This is not a Pokemon game. Okay?
I like what they... okay, so... Wait, no, you speak your piece.
Okay.
So, this is your list. No. Piece.
I will say this. I knew what it was going into it, okay? I did. I know. It's Pokemon. Everybody who watches this channel or knows me knows I love Pokemon games. I dabble in the cards a little bit. I play every game that ever comes out. Blue, red, my favorite is Diamond and Pearl. But I bought Arceus because it looked unique. It was a bit open worldy. You could kind of go wherever. The Pokemon were roaming supreme and, Jurassic World style. And I was like, okay, I gotta see this. But then the closer it got to like the pre-order was coming out, it was like, this is gonna be based in the past. And like, you just have to, and then when I got into it, you had to fill out your Pokedex by catching the same Pokemon 80 million times, and you had to watch it fart in the water to get your Pokemon. I don't know, man. It was like they tried to make Pokemon Snap, but catch the Pokemon happen, and it didn't happen.
It was very much Pokemon Go inspired, I believe. I think they tried to catch when they realized that Pokemon Go was lightning in a bottle. And they saw what Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee were. It was like, well, wait, hold on. Let's put this in the traditional. Let's do a deeper progression and RPG system into it, which I think would have worked if it wasn't a bland world. Like I played it for about 2 hours, and I know
those cities. No,
I didn't
NPCs
follow my own.
Were like,
I didn't follow my own advice where. I usually try and give a game a little more than that. If I spend money on it, I will generally try and put 5 to 6 hours into something, because that was what a lot of people told me back in the day about The Last of Us.
When I did finish it. I mean, for anyone watching, I did finish the game, but
you felt like you had to.
I messaged you a couple times. I was like, man, this is like work now. Like I'm not even enjoying. I'm doing it because I want to finish a Pokemon game that I want to make sure I know the lore. I want to know what happens. Now, I will give it some credit because I don't want to be all negative Nancy here. It did have some really great new Pokemon, and it did have some new variants, like typing and everything like that. We got Hisuian Zoroark out of it, which is a normal ghost, first we ever seen of its kind. Thought that was deadly. So, it wasn't a total loss, but Pokemon, you let me down. Niantic. I don't even know if you were a part of it, but you're getting the blame.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Well, you returned it. Your piece is said.
Yeah,
What
I bought it for 50 and I sold it for 50, so I came out just...
So let's shelf that. What is your number 2 worst?
My number 2 worst, and it was not supposed to be a funny movie, but I kept laughing throughout the entire thing. You didn't see this movie.
Okay.
Smile.
I did see it.
Did you?
Yes, not in theater, but I wanted to see it the whole
Oh my God.
Very, very badly. So I'm on your page. I'm on your side here. Go ahead.
I can't. All it was, the movie was a glorified jump scare. And that's all it was. It was marketed. It was like, ooh, it's the most horrifying monster you'll ever see. And it was, I was just like, there's someone in the kitchen. Yeah, there it is. And then it was coming out. If you haven't seen the movie, skip past this part because I'm going to give away spoilers right now.
Yeah.
And it was just going to be like, here's your gift. It's going to be the cat.
I know. I said same thing.
And then
I said the same thing.
It wasn't even like oh, it could be the cat. It was just gonna be, you watch, that's gonna be the cat.
Yeah.
Mr. Whiskers, where is it? The cat's dead.
Yeah.
That's gonna be in the box.
Yeah.
Now, I understand it's taking into a dive into the realm of mental health and everything like that.
It was walking a fine line a couple times. There was some comments that was being made, and I was like,
oh my God, when they start stabbing the guy and everyone's like,
yeah.
I was...
But like that, but like the best part, honestly, the best part of that movie was, and again, spoilers ahead, is when was when Mrs. took the broken vase at the beginning and just went. I was okay. They're showing like graphicness.
Well, yeah, because that's when I was like, oh,
but
okay, whoa, and then it just went like,
and
okay,
it fizzled like immediately after, and there needed to be more smiliness, people dying in your face. I don't know. And in the ending, what was that creature? I don't know.
Well, that was probably the
you.
coolest part during the lore and everything, but the whole like, okay, I'm just gonna climb in your mouth.
Yeah,
yeah, like
I lost it there. See,
I was laughing. Myself and my wife, we went to see it because we were like, why don't we? It's around Halloween. Let's go see a scary movie. And we invited our friends, Zach, who was our DM for D&D, and his wife. And I was laughing more at Zach because Zach hates jumps. I'm not a fan of him anyways because I'd rather it be suspenseful and be like what's gonna...
Yeah, well, you're more of a thriller.
Something's gonna happen. I don't know what it is. But instead of just being like, and then it's just, God. And I was just like, here it comes. 1, 2, 3. And they're in the light switch. And then they'll like turn the light. They did the lights out thing. And then there was a thing. And I was like,
but if I may, my number 2, okay? Because you kind of just reminded me. You know what didn't have any jump scares, never had any horror for like an hour in a horror movie, and didn't really make me laugh, and you know where this is going, and I really hope that the name of the movie is legit. My number 2 is Halloween Ends.
Oh, I thought you were gonna... No, I thought you were gonna... Because I don't even know if it came out this year. It was
disgusting.
The Saw one.
No, they're all fine. I can watch all of them.
Even the newest one?
Yes.
I thought that was
Spiral.
Like
You're talking about Spiral. Nah, that's all fine. It's not great, but I can watch them because I'm a hardcore fan, so I love all the lore.
I had no interest in seeing the new Halloween movie after seeing the one previous.
Well, we went together and we walked out like we wasted money. And luckily, I watched this one at home. There was like an hour, ladies and gentlemen, in a Halloween movie where no horrorness happened.
Horrorness.
Horrorness. I made up the word because I would rather make up words than watch that movie again. Michael Myers' send-off, Halloween Ends, was so lackluster. Jamie Lee Curtis's acting was as if she could have cared less if she was on set. It was definitely had to be a payday. All due respect, JL.
Oh yeah, because we're tight with Jamie Lee Curtis.
But like, man, I don't know. Like, you got this franchise that is so rich in horror. Like, it's an iconic horror franchise.
I liked her in the second one. I just didn't see this one.
The second one was not great either, man.
No, but I liked her in it. I liked her.
Oh, yeah.
I liked Laurie.
Well, she was in the hospital for most of it.
Yeah, but still, like, she was still good at being like, and losing her mind. But the whole... The second one had the best kill.
Listen, I will go. Don't tell me about the fluorescent tube in the face.
No, it was when it bops the door and he shoots.
Like, again, how stupid? How stupid do you have to be of a movie? It don't make sense.
Because it's the same kind of kills that Jason Freddy gets too. They're all stupid kills.
In 1980,
they made a new one.
Yeah, and that one actually had some meat to it. Listen,
actually, the new Friday the 13th one I really enjoyed.
All due respect. and I gotta be honest, the best Halloween movies, in my opinion, that were ever made was by Rob Zombie. And I'm going to stick to it because they were actually gritty, great storytelling. The first one was way better than the second one, in my opinion.
I saw the second one. I did enjoy this first one, though, by Rob Zombie.
On that super
by
lull,
Robert Zombie.
On that lull that I just created, I would love to hear your the worst thing that you played or watched this year.
If your worst thing isn't this, then you clearly didn't know because you sat right next to me when we watched this.
I think, no, wouldn't you never, that's not my number one.
Oh,
you didn't even probably watch my number one.
I can't even.
I sat next to you?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Why do studios keep giving Jared Leto movies?
Oh no!
Mobius.
Oh, I forgot about that.
God.
It was February when that came out, Pete, and you still talking about it. Actually, I think it was April. But
I don't
nonetheless,
even know when it was. I don't know when it was this year. That is right up there with Fast and Furious.
But you know I kind of liked Mobius.
I know, I don't know
I kind of liked it, I'm
why.
not gonna lie.
I was still, it's so bad. The movie was so bad that people kept making memes about it, and the executives at Sony were like, hey, people really wanted to come back to theaters. And they
re-released it.
And it didn't make any money. Oh my God.
Listen, the biggest downhill with that movie, in my opinion, I'm going to lean on my negatives of it because I didn't think it was that bad, was what the did they do with the end credits?
Oh.
What did they do with the end credits?
Well, they
basically ruined the MCU.
multiverse.
Yeah.
But okay,
Now, I did like that because I freaked out a little bit, but
Matt Smith's villain could have been better. I mean, it was a crap villain. Hey, I don't want to be sick anymore, just like you don't want to be sick. But when you did it, you want to be a good person, and I'm going to be a bad person because I like being bad. And that's what it was. And it was just like, well, you're the same person and you're doing it. And then the whole boat scene, I don't even remember. And
but don't you get what I said before about movies lately? It's just the villain is fighting the hero with the same powers. I don't understand why they keep doing this in movies. Why does it have to be, I'm a vampire, a human vampire? Well, I'm going to be a human vampire and I'm going to fight you. Why can't it be he was fighting a Goliath made of rock or something? Like, I don't know.
Because they're using the same mentality that like 6 and 7-year-olds are like, I'm a vampire. No, I'm a vampire, but stronger. Yeah. And that's what it is. Okay, well, fine.
Well, if you're a sword theorist, I'm going to be the sword theorist.
Well, I got this sword that stabs. Well, I got this sword that stabs harder. And that's, I know. I kept picking the movie apart the entire time we're there. Now, I went into it with low expectations.
You had very low expectations.
I wasn't going into it planning on hating it, but I was like, this movie is going to have to do a lot to wow me.
I'm not even sure if you would go to this. I don't even know if you would have went to this movie had we not had a YouTube channel.
No. Because this movie's going to be deadly. This is going to be a turning point for the Sony
I don't know if I said
universe.
Maybe though. I probably did say that. And then they have Venom in there. I mean, there's lots of cool shit. I don't know.
Oh my God, what are you? I'm Venom. No, I'm just kidding. Oh.
Now, unfortunately, I don't even think you've watched this, so it's going to be hard to relate to my number one worst thing that I played or watched this season, and I only watched it just a short time ago, was on Netflix, a show called The Midnight Club. Did you watch it?
Oh, I watched the first episode and a half of it.
Guys.
And yeah, I didn't...
I seen this as like a preview on, you know how Netflix gives you those little previews? I watched the preview. It's made by, I told you this actually, it's made by the same guy who did Midnight Mass. And that was, in my opinion, one of the best shows I've watched in a very, very long time.
Haunting of Bly Manor and The Haunting of Hill House. Those shows were amazing.
This is in the same universe because it's called the guy who directs, I forgot his name, but they call it like his last name verse or whatever, right? And it had nothing, in my opinion, to do with the sort. I was so hyped to watch it. Me and the wife watched it. She said she actually enjoyed it. I was like, honey, I don't know what you've seen because it was just kids in a basement telling ghost stories that weren't even, like, it wasn't even creepy. It wasn't, like, creepy. It wasn't thrilling. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't, like, I don't even know what the point of the show was. Like, the show was over, and I was like, it's all about kids living in, like, a hospice type situation.
Oh, I know.
But, like, there was no purpose. like you say, I think as you said it before about Back to the Future, no one learns anything. The main character doesn't grow any or whatever it was. That's what I felt about this show. It was 10 episodes of meaningless watching.
I saw up to the episode where the girl in the wheelchair, we find out her story with the devil. Spoiler.
But
that was it. And
what was that story?
Click.
The devil was what? Looking for her to take her with death?
I don't think I finished the episode because he was like, I'm the good version, and I'm the bad version.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But then the story told, and it was almost for a second like American Horror Story, but worse. Like where the same character plays different characters.
I like American Horror Story.
Oh, I do too. But I'm saying this was like the crappy version.
This is the Wish version.
But you know what, Pete?
Let's start to get to the positive stuff.
I want to switch gears. So I think I want you to tell me. Let's switch gears. We're going to go into the good stuff, the juice.
My worst best movie.
Yeah. Or movie or show.
Or yes.
Hold on, I want to refresh myself. We're going to got the list here on deck. Oh yeah. You guys are going to love mine.
My stuff is all kind of all over the place, and I would love to put certain things higher than others for other reasons, but it's all around. Okay.
The magic of cinema.
My fifth
Yep.
best, which is my worst best, which was still amazing in my opinion, was Andor. So I follow up.
Okay, he's trying to redeem himself, Disney.
Because this is what Star Wars needs to be.
Okay.
Really and truly, it is a slog. I won't lie, but that's what it is.
Was it as good as Rogue One? Like that? Did it capture that coolness? I don't know how to explain it.
No.
No,
it was
different.
It's better and worse than the same, all the same thing. Because Rogue One is a story where there was a finite point.
Yep.
We have to figure out where Andor came from and what it is.
Fair, yep.
So this is his backstory, the birth of the rebellion, the beginning of the fall of the Empire. But we get to see throughout the show. Why is the Empire so bad? Sure, we know about Palpatine, we knew about the Sith, we knew about Vader, and all these guys and these ships seem to be certainly bad, and they're destroy that planet. But why? Why is that? Is it just these particular people? And no, it's rampant throughout the entire thing. And something I don't understand is, why are they like this? And it doesn't really get into that, but why are they just so mean? We don't like the poor people.
But I guess that is clearly stated, you get your answer in the show?
No, I don't, but you get to see more of it beyond Star Destroyers and Sith Lords.
Okay. Do you get to see the groundwork of it?
You get to see the political aspect of it.
There you go.
And
again, never seen. So.
The lead up, there is a heist part of it, and my God, again, we know that the hard part about the show is where this is a prequel.
You said this to me before.
We know that Andor is in Rogue One, so he lives. But everyone else is just, I don't know. You like this character? Yeah, there could be, and that was kind of.
And Andy Serkis was in that, right?
He was.
That was his part.
It was a part. Okay. I'm not telling you because you haven't seen it. And where I like it, I don't care if it's bad. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But where it's good, and you said, do it. Go and watch it. It is. And again, like I was saying before, this is what Star Wars needs to be. It doesn't necessarily need to be lightsabers, little green creatures that float, and bounty hunters. It needs to be hi, I'm a healthcare worker, but I live on a planet in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, why is this so important? Well, there's all these stories about it.
Yeah.
It kind of is there are other people.
They're just deepening the lore of Star Wars day by day, it seems.
And it works.
Yeah.
And there needs to
Unless
be more
you're
of
the
this.
Book of Boba Fett, and then it doesn't work.
They nerfed my Boba.
If I may, do you know what sometimes works and sometimes don't work? And it's in my number 5.
Oh, okay. I was I don't know.
And I know, Pete, but sometimes relationships, Peter, they work and they don't work.
Why are you doing this as a Netflix promo?
This is where our watch time dives off. And we lose 18 subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. My number 5. Now, I was thinking outside the book when I done this. Outside the realm of our normal Marvel stuff and whatever. I was like, what did I watch this year that made me feel something, made me excited, made me look forward to watching, especially with the wife and stuff too. And just where are these characters going? So, for anyone who's stuck around.
He's talking about The Amazing Race.
Close. My number 5 best of the best. Oh, did you? Sorry.
I almost saw
is Love is Blind, season 2.
Okay, so what is Love is Blind? What
Okay,
is it?
okay. So
Is it a speed dating show? Is it-
sort of. Okay, for anyone who's paying attention here, Love is Blind is what they call a social media experiment. Okay, so basically, it's a reality TV show. Listen, that's what I'm saying. But listen, I want to show that we're culture. We're not just all about the nerdy stuff. We like watching many different plethora of shows here. Okay, but anyway, you have all these guys that go in one section of a building, for layman's terms, and you have all the women go in a separate section. They don't see each other, but they go into pods with like speed dating style. And without seeing each other, they learn about each other, and then if they want to get married, one of them proposes to the other, and that's when they see each other and they go through with the wedding process or not. I know. Listen, it's very much a chicky chick, but I'm telling you,
how long are they in these pods for?
like a week or two, maybe.
And they decide they want to marry someone in a week.
It's the whole point of Is Love Truly Blind? Anyway,
is it?
But yes, because I brought the notes because I knew I wouldn't remember anybody's name. But whoever did watch it, there was just so many people. Like, okay, I'm pointing this out to you. It's just names. But there was Ayana and Jarrett. They were a couple that actually did get married on the show, but unfortunately, and I was rooting for them, so was the wife, they broke up after the show. I found out.
But did she get half his stuff? And vice versa?
They didn't even live together on the reunion.
Can we have a follow-up to this?
There was Danielle and Nick. They were a Magoo couple, I gotta say. They were Magoo, and they should have never got married on the show. But one of the biggest things was Natalie and Shane. Now, anyone who watched the show knows Shane was like this. There was so many memes. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I really rooted for them to get married. They didn't. And we also, I won't touch on all of them, but we also got this guy, Shake, who was the biggest womanizer / pig. Even me as a man, I'm saying that. He was in the pod, so you're not supposed to know about physicality. I'll just touch on it for a second. But this guy, Shake, was one of the guys. He was like, so if we were like out to like a concert outside, like, do you think I could put you on my shoulders? And trying to gauge her weight. And let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if no one ever hires that man or he is ever laying with a woman ever again. But anyway, guys, if you've never watched Love is Blind or you're not into the social media experiment, give this one a chance. It is pretty funny. It's not about the love part of it is not like lovey-dovey show. It's like the social experiment aspect is what gets me, and like something that just has you gotta watch season 2. If you don't watch any other season, go watch season 2, and that'll be enough of that. Let's get back to the good stuff. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is, and I just finished it.
Okay.
God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, you finished it?
I finished it.
Woo!
Now, I haven't gotten 100% completion. There's 2 fights that I've got left to do.
You finished the campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. And spoilers ahead.
No, I'm not doing any spoilers.
Okay,
No, because you got to play this. It's an absolute masterpiece. You got to play these games.
I got too much on my plate. Go ahead. Why was it so good? What made this game better than the rest? Others you played? Let me know.
It was the emotional connection. Every single character that I ran into, I was like as much. Okay, Atreus in this game is still a little bit annoying. Like he's just like
the son.
He's like the angsty teenager, and there were parts where I was like, ugh. But the combat just felt rewarding. I enjoyed every part of that. Going and finding collectibles, which is usually a slog in some of these games, was fun.
And you did send me some clips, and they were gorgeous. Oh, what was it when you're in the boat and you were going in that river that led to the open city in the mountains or something?
You're in Svartalheim.
Okay.
Svartalheim.
Yeah.
The dwarf city. And oh my god! But again, like I'm I'm a button masher, but I actually took the time to be like, okay, no, I've got to do this. This is the most effective combination.
Yeah.
And loved it.
And you got the controller for Christmas. You just showed me that the other day, collector's edition.
But the story was good, and it's so hard. Okay, so the first one is genuine. The first God of War of the new arc was touted to be a near perfect game. Like IGN gave it a 10. A lot of other reviewers gave it a 10 out of 10. And it's pretty close to that, where it's like it's super high rated.
Yeah.
And then to follow it up with the same development crew in a very close to like development cycle and everything like that, with another near perfect game. Not just for me. Again, it was reviewed and given a near perfect rating. You can't. The story is relatively complete. I don't know where we're going from here.
So is there going to be a sequel?
Don't know. There could be. It might not be. Who's to say? I'm not being cagey with this. I look at it and be like, you know what? This could be a part where we go, okay, or
No, come back, monsieur. Well, I'll tell you what, if I may get on my number 4, matches with yours a little bit. It is a game. It is coming off the PS5. And unfortunately, it's not one that I have completed yet. And nope, I completed Biomutant.
Did you?
It's one that you also own that you haven't completed, and we keep saying we want to complete it because it's such a good game.
Well, that's why I didn't put it on the list. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so my number 4 of the best thing that came this year, in my opinion, is Horizon Forbidden West.
Fantastic game, and it is. The only reason that it didn't make my list was because, one, God of War came out, and in my opinion, God of War is a better game just for the beats. I find you do your thing.
No, I know. It's fine. I don't mind you, like, because we both own it. It's easy to chat about. I don't have God of War.
I found that some of the beats were like. I just wasn't invested. Like, you'd save somebody, and they're like, come back to once you've found these 6 flowers. Like, I don't care. I just want the,
True.
I just want the weapon.
But you know what? I'm not a side quest person anyway. However, I find Horizon side quests do keep me wanting, because you actually they actually say, oh, instead of going from point A to point B, which you can see within eyeshot, it's like, no, go halfway across the map and find me that vase full of blood that I need. And you're like, okay. When you get to the vase, it's like, oh, there's a giant robot about to kill me. Awesome. So it feels like all these are like actual missions, but my God, the graphic, like the scenery, the greenery on blues, and it's very ocean-based, very jungle-based. And the new monsters they've rolled out, like the hippos and stuff, very creative. And I haven't finished it yet. I assume, and I think I heard there is going to be one more installment at least. I do believe.
There's going to be multiple.
Besides the mountain and all that one.
There's supposed to be, there's the DLC coming out soon. There's supposed to be there's supposed to be an online multiplayer like a co-op game that they're going to develop in their world, and there's supposed to be other games that are coming through.
But I said this before as well, and I'm not afraid to admit it, I am a true gamer, that Horizon was the very first video game that I actually cried playing because, cried at a cutscene type thing, like the story progression. And I won't say what that is, but there's a moment in the game I actually shed a tear because I was like, wow, the culmination of that. So I feel like, I've stepped away from Horizon Forbidden West for a minute now, and I'm afraid I won't get that feeling if something big happens in this one. But I have all intentions to pick it up in 2023 and get back to. I really want to get back. I want to finish that game and make sure I put it to bed so that when the new one drops and the DLC drops, I am ready to go. So if you guys got a chance, if you haven't yet, I highly suggest, and I'm sure Peter will tell you the same, pick it up, give it a whirl. It is crazy, but play the first one first if you haven't.
Yes.
So what is your number 3?
My
best?
number 3.
We're in the middle of the best now, so it's getting good.
So my number 3, I had to go a little bit in the danger zone for this one.
Legitimate.
Top Gun
Ooh,
Maverick.
Let's go.
Was because, again, this was probably the most fun, and
I'm surprised that's number 3 for you.
For ye, bruh. It was. I enjoyed every part of the movie. Yes, it slogged, and yes, I was like, okay, stop talking and stop reminiscing. Get back in the planes.
Yeah.
But the experience of that movie, the story was, it is what it is. It wasn't the best story. Like God of War had a better story than Top Gun Maverick, but I still was like this. I am 7 years old going, look at those planes go. Zoom, zoom, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I really, really, really enjoyed it. And it was
actually like from your, it's almost a true sequel.
Yeah.
If I may.
And it didn't even need to be made. It was just like, again, like, we're going to do this. We're going to bring everyone back. Like, okay, I went into it having no expectations. I wasn't like, I hope they do this. I wasn't hoping for any
a lot of
callbacks.
sequels, I feel like a lot of sequels nowadays, like from movies that did well back in the day, are very forced. But it's almost like Top Gun Maverick was coming out, and it was like everybody accepted it. Like, okay, yeah, like new Top Gun Maverick.
Didn't need to be done, but all right.
Yeah, and then when it hit, my God, it hit. So...
And the unfortunate thing is now they're saying, like, we might do a third one. I'm like, no, don't, though. I think we're good where it is.
Yeah.
Another 20 years
when Tom Cruise is AI.
Yeah. I am the plane.
But speaking of planes and trains and automobiles, my number 3 is all because of this guy. I wanted to go to see a movie in the theater that I had really not. You know what's coming. I give you props. My number 3 best film that blew me away a little bit. I didn't have no intention of seeing it until this guy wanted to go. He was very adamant. Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
And I know you like it. It was just, you were like I said, you brought me to the movie. I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, I don't know what Bullet Train is. You knew more about it than I did. I said it got Brad Pitt, couple Aaron Taylor Johnson was in it. I was like, okay, got a few people I know. I'll go see it with you. And man, that comedy slapped. And it also kept you guessing. I love a good guessing game in a movie that shows you little tidbits, and then later there's a big callback, and you're like, oh, when she stuck that bubble gum under the seat, that's where Buddy found the explosive C4. I don't know. But like, it was just so good, and the way that the characters all came, dude, they introduced characters over like different times in the movie. It wasn't just like, here's all your characters, figure shit out. It was like, okay, we got some characters, couple died, and here's some new ones, and a couple died. And then, small spoiler, not that big a deal. Our boy Ray, who hasn't wrote us on Twitter, was in it. Ryan Reynolds. What? Are you anxious because he didn't write us on Twitter?
He didn't write us on Twitter.
I know. He will though. Because now, I gave you a shout out. But guys, if you have not seen Bullet Train,
you have to.
If you look at Bullet Train, you're like, this is a movie I know nothing about, I don't want to see it or whatever, I don't know. Go see it. You will be pleasantly surprised. But that's really all I got to say about it, because it was just a good movie to sit down and watch. I didn't have to turn my brain off. I legitimately was enjoying it. And I was sat there, and when the movie was over, I was like, thanks, Pete. So.
All right, so my number 2 is a bit of it's Bullet Train. It is.
Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. You should stop me. If that was your number 2, you could have. You take it away. You take it away.
Bullet Train. I loved it. I when they first the first tagline that came out before we even watched the trailer, like it's John Wick on a train. It's got Brad Pitt in it. I was like, my God, that was a lot just to take in. And I watched the first trailer, and I was like, we gotta go see this.
Yeah, and I was kind of like a little bit standoffish first. I was just like, like, you know,
I don't
maybe.
get it. And yeah, like you said, I was kept guessing throughout. I was entertained throughout the whole time. And like, I had known that there were other characters that were supposed to be in it. I'd seen like the short list of this person, but I did look at who they were playing. So I was like, when are they going to show up?
Yeah,
and when in this person, because I saw this from the trailer, when are they going to show up and do the thing?
And then, I'm pretty sure, please, I'm not sure if I guess the Asian guy on it, was he not the guy from Mortal Kombat?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't finish Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah. It was.
I think he was.
I think that was on your list last year of movies you didn't like. Come to think of it.
Yeah, probably. Or is it
but you are right. Like, and there was times. I mean, it's a train, so there's people sat down everywhere, whatever. And sometimes it would just be Brad Pitt walking through, and like off to the side, you'd be like, "Wait, was that?" You know, a character. Yeah, like this guy is not a side character. It's like someone waiting to happen. And then like 20 minutes later, you get introduced to that character, why he's on the train.
And then there were surprises of people that were sitting down, and then Brad Pitt would have a conversation where we're like, oh my God! I'm not going to say who, because it was a nice surprise.
Oh, man.
And again, I've mentioned this before in previous videos, Brad Pitt is a phenomenal actor. Yeah. Listen, the man's not hard to look at. I'm just going to say, the man is in his 50s, he's almost 60, and the man is not hard to look at. However, he's still a great actor. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Fight Club.
Yeah, he still got it.
The movies that he chooses, even Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the movie that he chooses to be in, he does well, and he sells it the whole time. I'm not saying every movie he does is a banger, but the memorable ones for me, there's a lot of memorable Brad Pitt movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he fits your genre, really. But kind of dialing back and flip-flopping again to my number 2, I was going to bring it up, but it wasn't quite there, Top Gun Maverick. Okay, and now, listen. Once again, got to throw you over the credit. So, little history. I had never watched Top Gun. It was before my time a little bit. Maybe I just never got caught up in the hoopla. I don't know. I never watched it. But this guy here had, your man parts were getting there for Top Gun Maverick.
Had good thoughts.
Yeah. He had good thoughts. So he kept saying, man, you gotta go see Top Gun Maverick, I'm like, I never seen the first one. I don't like, what? It didn't do that. So one day, me and my wife were sat upstairs. We were like, you know what? Top Gun is on something, whatever, one of the streaming services. So I said, why don't we watch the first one, see if we like it, and then we might go see Top Gun Maverick. So we threw it on one night. Without pausing, weren't on our phones. We were watching. Now, at the same time, it was a good movie. I'll call it a good movie. It is now outdated for me to watch it. 30 years later, it's a little outdated. But
the plane, I love that plane, the F-14A Tomcat.
Whoa! But the thing about it was enough to be like, okay, I understand the concept now of the movie. I go see this new one, and she was like, yeah, whatever. So went and seen it, and we were like two of us were like, holy shit, this is a deadly movie. And I want to talk about, I know you didn't really mention it, but I do want to talk about my favorite scene in the whole movie. It's not really, it's a spoiler. It's a little bit of spoiler, so if you really don't want to know,
I think I know
skip
what
this
you're
part.
talking about.
They're running the flight simulator, right? And Tom Cruise's character, Maverick...
They're doing the trench run on the Death Star.
Yeah, so Maverick is showing them how to do it via, like, I guess, a clipboard, not clipboard, a whiteboard or whatever, and he sends his students into it, and they cannot pull off the exact precision that is needed to run this Kessel run in, what, 19 parsecs? 9 parsecs? What is it? Anyway, so after some of his shenanigans, he gets let go from that Air Force, whatever, about a general or whatever, and he goes to teach the class. The general does, and he's like, we got to do this. And they're like, boss, is impossible, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden on that same...
We have an
it's
unregistered fighter, unlicensed fighter going on.
And they're like, who's in the field?
And again,
And it's Maverick coming in, and he
does it by himself. He doesn't need the second person.
and it's like, and like, oh man.
And that was the best thing.
It was
about
actually
seeing
like-
it. Yeah, well, that was the best thing about seeing it in IMAX, because on that 80 by 40 screen, and it was just every time you see the whole like, and you're feeling the chair like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
and it wasn't
IMAX,
even in D-Box.
in
That would have been
in
amazing to
IMAX.
see in D-Box.
But we've touched on that twice now. So I want to give it over to you, Big P.
Well, I obviously I know what mine. I'm so interested in what yours is, but my
Oh, I don't even think you're gonna guess mine.
number.
I would love if it was the same, but I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, because I don't think you felt as good about this one as I did.
Okay. What is your number one?
Number one movie, video game, TV show
Yep.
of the year for me.
Yep.
And I started off, we talked about this movie, and I said, oh no.
Yep.
Oh no, this is going to do so hot.
Yep.
Matt Reeves, the Batman. Oh.
How did I not see this coming? It totally went over my head when you were just talking. I should have knew what it was.
Oh my God. I was
Ladies and
like,
gentlemen, strap in because he's about to go off on the Batman.
Robert Pattinson, I was like, it can't be Bruce Wayne and Batman. What are you
Yep.
going to do? He's just the jingly glittery guy from
Yep.
Twilight. And he
Yep.
was the Cedric Diggory that, spoiler
Yep.
alert, got ganked by Voldy.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know what he's going to do. But I knew that he'd had some movies over recently that we never really talked about.
Yep.
Like The Lighthouse and a couple of other ones.
Yep.
And all
Which
his
apparently
other-
was a really good movie.
All of the other Christopher Nolan movies that
Tenet.
he's been... Tenet.
Yeah.
He was in... Inception.
Okay.
And he was in something else too. I can't
Will he
remember.
be
It
in
doesn't-
Oppenheimer?
Oppenheimer. I don't know. He could be. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Yeah. You loved him as the Batman.
And oh my God, he was so good as the Batman because he was a young and fresh Batman. And I've said it in our little reaction review of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is the closest thing to watching comic book scenes recently. I mean, some of the earlier Marvel movies are very good at it, especially with the early Spider-Man ones. But I still come back to this scene, and I will. There's the cameras are almost always static. There's very few moving, so it's almost that fixed where it's like a comic panel. And that scene after the car chase and crash, where Penguin is upside down, and you just have that 20-second walk up of Batman. You see him, and then it just
the cowl, the cape is
I could see that as like 3 or 4 panels of like him. Then then he's fully in the frame, and then like you see the bat symbol in the feet, and then at the very end is just the open window, shattered window, and then it just his boots. Is it going to win awards? Probably not. I don't know, because I'm not part of the Academy. I would just like take my.
And I think I know the answer, but that one, a sequel to that, is not in the realm of chopping block.
No,
due to
because
this
it was
DC
not
stuff,
in the
right?
DCEU.
Right. Okay.
However, there was supposed to be another movie/show that was going to be coming out. I think that might have been Shit Can. I'm not sure.
Okay. But I don't know. And then you got, I mean, just to lean on a little bit, we all know that the Joker 2 is coming out as well. I don't know if they're ever going to line up.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
how
not
that's.
sure.
I don't think it is, but I don't know how that's going to work, because they keep saying like it's rumored to be a musical because Lady Gaga is going to be Harley
dying to
Quinn.
see. Listen, just a little bit.
She could do well.
She will do Harley Quinn justice. I don't care what it is.
I don't think she's going to have that little like.
She's going to play this up.
But
If
she
you
is
guys
gonna
have
get-
ever watched, once again, I say it again,
American Horror Story.
American Horror Story Hotel, she was doing some good stuff in that.
Yeah, but the Batman just. And again, I think the reason why it's so high on the list for me, or it is the top of the list for me, is because it was a surprise. I wasn't expecting it to be. A lot of my movies that I've talked about were surprises. Like, I knew I was going to enjoy Andor. How much was I going to enjoy it? I don't know. I still enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
But it was just like... But... The Batman was just, I went into it be like, geez, I hope this is going to be good, because like there's been a lot of help, and I walked out of the theater.
You were in your glee, yeah.
I want that car.
Yeah. And there was
Colin Farrell. Wow, such a good
It was a good mix.
Yeah.
It was a good mix.
What's your number one? Come on, let's do it.
My number one is a little. What's the word I'm looking for? It is a show. It's a little touchy. It's a little. Put it this way, this show made me feel things and be entertained in a way that I never really thought I would be entertained, nor did I feel well about being entertained by it.
Is it The Boys?
No, it was Dahmer, the Jeffrey Dahmer story, the monster one with Evan Peters. I really got to say, and I know it's a controversial show because, and I will admit that I was made to feel this way, when that show was over, I felt bad for him. Now, but I do want to clarify before anybody hits us in the comments. What I mean by that is, it is a testament to how good Evan Peters can act. It's not that I felt, bad for Jeffrey Dahmer as the man. He was a very terrible person, and I'm glad that he's not in the world anymore. What I'm saying is, Evan Peters played him in such a way that I was like, I don't want this show to end. So now when he died, no. You know what I mean?
Spoiler.
Yeah.
But that's the same kind of thing with it, because it's almost, I don't know if the right word is dangerous, but again, like, if you're feeling that way, it's almost like it's glorifying the serial killer. I know it's not.
And not what we mean. Not what we mean. Yes, that's not what I mean either.
But they did this kind of same thing when Zac Efron played Ted Bundy.
Which I never seen.
I watched that and I was like, oh my God, is he going to get out? And then about half hour after the credits rolled, I was like, did I just empathize with Ted Bundy, a man who had heads of people in his apartment?
So, and the thing is,
what was Dahmer? Did he eat people? Was that
he did?
thing?
Yeah, he was. What was it? They called him the something cannibal. No, I don't something cannibal.
Well, that sounds like that's a good tagline. Anyway, he's a cannibal.
But the thing about it is that I don't follow true crime. I don't watch all those serial killer stories and all that stuff.
True crime is so glorified.
But everybody loves it. But I knew it was a show. But I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of Jeffrey Dahmer, like, as a serial killer. I have no idea what he did or whatever. So I think maybe because this was my first experience watching someone act so well as Evan Peters did, and portraying that onto me, I think that I just enjoyed it as a show, forgetting for a moment that this stuff really happened. And had it not ever really happened, the show would have been absolutely blow my mind. But I just wanted to give it a mention again, trying to think of the realm of our normalcies. I wanted to let everybody know that was probably something that moved me the most and made me feel something watching it, which I think deserves a top spot in my list for sure. I know you wanted to talk about a couple. We want to talk about a couple honorable mentions.
But I threw another swerve into the mix again.
Oh, no!
Just because I've got honorable mentions.
Yeah. One for me, I do want to just throw. I'm not going to talk about it a lot, but I do want to let everybody know that I thoroughly enjoyed Avatar, which just came out slightly before we recorded this video. So, I mean, we never had really time to process, but I do want to say I think you should go see it. I did thoroughly enjoy it.
I didn't put Avatar in my honorable mentions just because I knew I was going to enjoy it, and I enjoyed it. So it was a hat is a hat. Like that's kind of what it was for me. Still a great movie. Is it going to be up on the top thing? No. Yeah. It's just like, go see it. Great.
Well, what's some other things that we watched this year that you think or played or whatever that you think?
I don't think you watched any of the things that I'm going to talk about.
Just spitfire them then.
Okay, so Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I did not watch
that. It didn't necessarily blow me away, but there were certain things in it because, again, Star Wars, and I love Ewan McGregor, and the whole bit with Hayden Christensen at the end. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but oh my God, you didn't kill Anakin. I did. I was like, oh my God. Turning red.
Like the animated one?
Yes.
Wow, people, I can't say Love is Blind season 2, but he's over here talking about red. Turning red. What? Because it was Canadian in Toronto. I'm from Calgary.
You're from Canada too. Idiot. Like, I'm from Thunder Bay. Whatever. Like, okay, you got me.
Okay, but why? Why?
Because again, it was one of those
I'm turning
ones
red
that
now.
myself and my wife were like, "Hey, I've heard good things about this. Why don't we just put it on?" And we were roaring.
Right.
It's a great movie.
Can I-
It talks about some of the issues that are talked about. I mean, it's allegorical and like they're coming of age,
Yeah.
and they're talking about the periods that the menstrual cycles and everything like that.
menstrual cycles.
But
We're
the
adults.
whole panda thing was just hilarious to me, and it was I
I never
don't know.
see it. Can I take
Watch it.
Can I take another guess? I'm not sure if it came out this year, but I really want to take a guess because I feel like you did watch it. Is Jungle Cruise on there?
No, the Jungle Cruise came out last year.
Oh, all right.
And that was an all right movie. It was a fun ride, and because it's a fun ride.
Yeah.
Okay, so I literally just finished watching this the other night. Glass Onion.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
Great
but-
movie.
Yeah, I heard good things.
Did you watch Knives Out?
No.
You don't need to, but watch Knives Out and then watch this. It's just, you don't need to, but
I thought it was like silly fun.
No, it's a whodunit mystery. Hey, whodunit? Yeah.
Maybe.
And
I'll
James-
put it on the list. I'll put it on the list for the wife.
Okay.
Me and the wife.
This actually came out last year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But I didn't watch until this year. And the only reason I watched it is because we did Sci-Fi in the Rock, and I saw so many of these characters running around.
If you say My Hero Academia, you
No, because I still don't know what that is.
Okay.
Arcane.
Is it a anime?
Kind of. It's the show that's based off League of Legends where the characters came from. So all the girls that were running around with Jinx with the long blue hair.
Oh, okay.
And then
okay,
her sister Violet.
Yeah,
I
okay,
can't remember.
okay,
And-
okay.
But the art of that just sucked me right in, and the fantastical element. It reminded me a lot of. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It was a Disney movie years ago. It was Atlantis: The Lost Empire. And Michael J. Fox is the main character. It basically kind of had that same kind of fantastical energy
okay,
consumption and everything, and it was cool. But then it had the seedy underworld part of it that was great too. And Jinx is just, she's such a good character. She's the Harley Quinn of League of Legends.
I'm glad. I'm even glad that you're broadening your horizons. Because I mean, we always like to watch something off the cuff every now and again. Well, sorry, was that it for your?
No, I got one more,
okay,
and
okay.
I really wanted to put this in my
go
top
ahead.
5. But it was just like, honestly, this could have been number 5, but I had to include Andor because I'm a Star Wars sucker.
Yeah.
Prey.
Oh, okay. Yep. I'll throw that in there as well.
In terms of surprise of what it was like,
Yeah.
they're making another Predator movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
We thought that was a ball it up and throw it in the
seriously?
trash.
Why? Okay, but it's about the Comanche Indians, natives,
Yeah.
Aboriginals. Indigenous. There's
Yep.
so many different terms.
Yeah, we're trying to be politically correct.
And there's the Predator in it, and he had bone instead of the whole.
Yeah,
And
I just
it
like
was-
I guess it's kind of like Horizon Forbidden West, or
Yeah.
Horizon in general, is that primitive character
Yep.
versus something that should be dominant, but somehow being primitive means you have to survive,
You got to adapt.
and you got to adapt. That's
And
right,
That's
and
what she did.
and that makes good storytelling.
Oh,
So-
again, it's in today's day and age of streaming at
Yeah.
home. Like, you go
Yeah.
to see a movie, you're not going to
Yeah.
be on your phone. If you are, I'm
Yeah.
smacking you because you're
Yeah.
ruining my
Yeah.
experience. But with a lot of movies that are coming on streaming and everything like that, it's hard not to be like, oh, okay, yeah, and yeah. Oh my God, they got engaged. Wow. Oh, cool, they just did that there. And this phone was not touched.
No.
I watched it just in a regular
when
afternoon,
she-
had a day off, and just did the whole.
And when she ties the axe onto the like little string, it's like, I was like, okay.
Great movie. And are they going to make another one? Who's to say? I'd love to see a Shinto samurai. Oh my God.
Well,
in the
listen,
Predator universe.
but
All
you know
right.
what? Look into the future.
Yes,
a
let's
great
look into the
segue. As we promised, guys. First of all, thank you so much for joining us for our list of worst 5 and best 5 movies, games, or shows of 2022. But as we promised, we're not going to let you go yet because we are definitely
Yeah, you're
looking.
sticking around. Stick
Yeah, we're
around.
sticking around. Please stick around.
I just want to take some pictures.
Yeah, hey, sit back. No. We want to look forward to 2023, and it is right around the corner.
All right.
And there is some great content that we already know it's announced that's coming around the corner. So we got well, you got a bunch, but
Yeah, I got a bunch.
we're supposed to have one of each, one game, one TV show,
Rules
and
are
one
made to be
movie.
broken.
Yeah.
All right,
but,
so you're going to start this ones off.
I'm gonna start- okay.
And so in terms of video games, what's the video games that you're looking forward to the most in 2020?
I want to start with a very quick honorable mention, then I'll tell you my most anticipated.
Okay.
My honorable mention, just to get it out there in the air, Hogwarts Legacy. And I think we both can agree. We can both agree
that's
on
part-
that.
that's on my list,
I can't wait to play that game. It's going to be super dope. If I'm
like
if,
in a month and a
if
half.
it's not on the list next year for 2023, come at me in the comments. But I think you know where I'm going with this. My most anticipated game, and if you ain't waiting for this game, you know.
Yeah,
if you are not waiting for this game that I'm about to mention, then I don't know if we can be friends. That is The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
See, okay.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's only 5 months away.
I'm looking forward to it, but it's not on my list.
Oh boy, it is numero uno because I cannot friggin' wait.
Well, maybe because I still have to beat them.
Yeah, so
I love it. It's a great game.
This is why it's subjective, and this is why it's on my list. I played the first one. I loved everything about it. The lore, and this lore is only going to get deeper from what we're being shown. And I'm excited. I always love Zelda games. I always have. I want to see them bring back temples, a little more streamlined of a story as opposed to the massive open world. I'll give or take, but I'm waiting to see what creatures and that they throw us. I want to see the weapons. I want to see, I don't know. I want to see it all. So, Tears of the Kingdom, I'm coming for you.
There's a ton of games that look very interesting coming out in 2023.
What are you waiting for?
Okay, well, Hogwarts, like I mentioned, is up there. That's going to be, I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to think now what you're waiting for. So
you don't know a whole lot of these.
Okay.
Another honorable mention is going to be Starfield, but I can't really say that because it's only given. It was supposed to come out last year on November 11th.
Yep.
And I didn't realize this, but I thought that the release date was very similar to Hogwarts. I thought it was coming out in February or March. But when I look back, it's actually not. It just has a release date of 2023 now.
Oh, okay.
So it might not. I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Usually when there's a delay, which usually happens with a lot of Bethesda games, they usually come out in March anyway. So maybe that's where I thought it was going to come from.
Well, don't leave us hanging. What's your actual game that you are absolutely waiting for?
Well, it was going to be Starfield, but it's going to be Diablo 4.
Oh, I heard that I should get into Diablo because it's very D&D-ish.
But the reason that I'm into it is because, well, I just love Diablo anyways. Diablo 3 was a bit of a departure from the originals and everything like that, and Diablo 4 is going to be much darker. However, my wife really enjoys Diablo.
Yes.
And instead of like playing like our quirky little like A Way Out or Moving Out or Overcooked and fun little quirky games, this is one where like, oh, there's a deep and blood and everything and viscera.
And then you guys rush to the bedroom. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know where that came from. Jeez.
Well,
left field's over there, buddy.
Yeah.
So, and I'm also very much looking forward to Jedi Survivor because I really enjoyed Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, that I did hear of.
So this is the sequel to that. Okay. There's a bunch of other games. I'm not really going to get into because I'm a gamer and there's going to be tons of games that I really want to play.
Stick around, like I said, watch the 2023 review and see how we made out.
All right, TV shows.
TV show? This one's going to come a little bit from left field for you because I don't think this would even be on your radar at all. And I honestly can't, I'm pretty sure it is coming out this year, 2023, but I'm not 1,000% kind of like your Starfield one, I guess. It says 2023. Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah, I don't know any of them.
No, but they're making a show based on the video games. Samoa Joe, who is a WWE, or was WWE wrestler, now he's in AEW, I think, or Ring of Honor. Anyway, he's playing Sweet Tooth, which I think is amazing. His body build, if you've ever seen the wrestler, is dope. But I grew up loving Twisted Metal 2. I still play it to this day. I have friends of mine that play it with me to this day. And I've always wanted to see it as an adaptation. I always thought it would be a movie, but then I heard it was going to be a show starring Anthony Mackie, who we know as the Falcon, who we know as now the Captain America. So there is some star power there. I heard someone was in it the other day, and oh my goodness, I'll not remember her name. I thought it was like Anne Hathaway or somebody like that was also in it. I can't remember.
Cool.
Don't quote me on that, but it's a female lead going to be in there that I remember seeing her. I was like, oh crap, she's in this too. And yeah, I'm excited. There's never been an adaptation of it. The closest thing was Death Race with
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. So we all know, which should have been Twisted Metal, but different. But anyway, that's my show. I'm excited for it.
So again, I got multiples because
he just made a huge list.
And I'm honestly surprised that you didn't mention any of this because... Okay, well, first of all, sorry. Everything's happening with my phone at the same time. Yeah. So first of all, because I actually don't know when the release date of this is, and I'm super geared for it.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
Secret Invasion.
Knew you were going to say it.
I can't wait for that.
Do you know why I didn't mention it? Really and truly, as you say?
You don't care?
No, it's just the Disney Plus shows are not hitting for me. I enjoyed WandaVision. I enjoyed Loki. Mm-hmm. I semi-enjoyed Miss Marvel. And that is it. And like really the other ones just did not hit me. And I need somebody to turn me around. I need somebody to turn me around.
All right. Next up,
Don't you have honorable mentions?
Vox Machina. Season 2.
Okay.
I don't understand why you're not like frothing at the
Well,
mouth.
I don't know. I selected one.
You heard it here. So any marketing that comes from Critical Role is clearly going to come to me.
Okay, fair enough. I'll let you have the first T-shirt deal.
All of them.
Perfect.
Anyways.
Well, if you check over on our channel, the Vox Machina trailer 2, now reaction is up. So you can tell we're quite excited for that, and I am excited for it.
I am.
Yeah, well, I had my shirt on until I changed. Yeah, he's taking all the credit. But again, it's just one of those things that keep us craving D&D. When I watch something like that, and I watched Campaign 3 on YouTube, it just makes me more excited for our campaign, and that's why I'm often frothing at the mouth to get in that DM room. So.
And my other honorable mention, because it comes out in a couple of weeks.
Oh, The Last of Us. I am actually super excited. I'm toying with the idea of doing reactions, but I don't know if I'll get there because it is very time consuming. I do have the newborn, but I would love to watch it and do something.
Still play the second game.
I'm working on it, but I am definitely going to watch the show.
Right over there.
I know, it's staring at us in the face.
I'm working on it. Okay. All right, movies.
Okay, this one was a toughie.
Yeah, mine was too.
There's a few movies that I want to see. I'll give a couple honorable mentions. I won't go into them in case it's on your list. We got Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. They are going to be turning points in the MCU for film. No, I'm just kidding. But I wanted to do something different, and it is one that actually, since I've watched it, I went back and watched every movie before it.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yep. And if you watch the reaction, I said I was going to do it. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. So something about it makes me think they're gonna capture a little something, and I don't know what it is, but I'm intrigued enough to put it high on my list that I can't wait to see it.
I'm definitely gonna go see it.
Oh, we are definitely gonna go see it.
That's what I mean. So because I just thought of another one, and I do want to see it just because, again, he did it this year.
Okay.
Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, the stunt got you, didn't it?
Oh man.
When we went to see Avatar, you tell them.
Oh, just it's a
No, it's a behind the scenes. I mean, it's on the internet now.
But
basically, I'll spoil it a little bit. It's not a spoiler. It's on the internet. It was a sneak peek, like a 2-3 minute sneak peek before Avatar of the stunt of Mission Impossible 6, which is Tom Cruise on a motorcycle.
Or 7. Is it 7?
So I don't know. It's one of them.
25.
And he drives a motorcycle up a ramp, flies off a cliff, does a paraglide, pulls the chute while the bike is flying.
Free dive.
Yeah, but he pulls a chute at the end.
Paraglide is when you actually have the parachute.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, I don't paraglide or whatever it is.
Clearly not.
Yeah. Anyway, and he does that, and the way the camera pans over and just gives you the depth of that mountain range is like, bro, I wouldn't be able to do it. And that guy's millionaire.
And the other one that I'm interested in, I'm intrigued to see, is because I'm a big fan of like historical historical movies.
Yep.
And the fact that this director is working on it and deals incredibly, he doesn't like CGI, really likes practical effects.
Do I know what you're about to say?
Oppenheimer.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say Indiana Jones.
But okay,
anyway, go ahead.
I am looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
But Oppenheimer, I'm really, because I'm just like, how is he gonna create that bomb? And
I mean, and just for anyone watching who's probably checking out our content, there's not a trailer reaction for Oppenheimer up on our channel, and the main reason is because it came on right before Avatar, and we already seen it, so. We keep it real. Whoa. Keep it real, so we don't want to, do a fake reaction to a movie trailer we already seen. But you were in the chair being like, woohoo! I remember. So.
And Indiana Jones, I am looking for. There's a ton of stuff that's coming out.
Listen, if you look at the movie slate for 2023, yep. If you look at the slate for 2023, guys, it is a great year to be getting
John
ready.
Wick 4.
That's right. There's a great year to be going to the cinema, and well, you know that your boys, the Distorted Theorists, are going to be there mostly day one. But man, I had fun with this. Our list didn't even cross over that much, so it really shows you the depth of the channel as well that we do enjoy.
Jussy, before we said this, he was like, geez, I hope our video wasn't as long as it was last year.
Yeah.
It got up to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're hitting 1 hour and 13 minutes at this point.
That's okay.
So,
that's fine. Listen, if you've stuck around, maybe this is a good podcast type listen. But guys, we love the channel. We love to do videos for you guys. We love talking about it clearly. Didn't miss a beat there in 1 hour and 13 minutes. I think we've done pretty well coverage. And there's a lot of stuff on the horizon to be proud of and be anxious for. I mean, like I said, cinema, lots of great movies. There's some great games, and the thing about the great games that are coming out, they're hitting the beginning of the year. So they're going to carry us into the middle of the year, and by then, hopefully, a little something else will be coming out.
Well, I hope Hogwarts gets me to Diablo, and right after Hogwarts comes out is when Jedi Survivor comes out.
And listen, I'm trying to get my wife to play Hogwarts, which would be the first ever video game we've ever played together. So wish me luck, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not happening.
You know, I'm having fun with it. I appreciate that we get together all the time and we talk about our movies, we talk about the games, and it helps us. Like I said, I would never seen Bullet Train or Maverick without you, and then maybe there's a game or Twist the Metal maybe you'll watch because of me. Who knows? But
I hate every moment of this.
no, you don't. But guys, most of all, we do appreciate that you, the viewers, do tune in and leave comments and all that good stuff. And we love chatting with you guys about the movies and games. And you guys sometimes shed light on stuff that we don't know about that we go check out.
Oh, so, you do it a lot where we mess up a lot.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But if you do want to continue to support the channel, or if you're new here, if you could hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, we always appreciate it. And with that, I am the real Jussy.
I'm Peter Parkour, and like we always say around here,
Happy New Year's. Oh.